Deojit was last seen on March 16th when she reportedly argued with the suspect after they were both drinking with relatives. Her body was discovered the following day by her brother inside the home. An autopsy revealed she was beaten about the head and strangled.
Meanwhile, a 17-year-old boy is expected to appear in court today charged with killing Rajkumar Pope. The Director of Public Prosecutions gave the instructions today to charge the suspect, who was arrested on March 26th, hours after viciously attacking the father of two in a mini-mart in St. John's Village in San Fernando. Hours earlier, the father had celebrated with his daughter, who wrote the SEA exam and had stopped to purchase a bread. 45-year-old Pope of Friendship Village died later at the San Fernando General Hospital. An autopsy revealed that his death was caused by blunt force injuries to the head coupled with heart issues. The teenage suspect, who lives in the same community as Pope, is a relative of murdered Maria Sinath. Government remains silent on the killing of 11-month-old Jaden Sutton and his father, 25-year-old Joseph. The two were shot and killed around 1 a.m. on Tuesday, pushing the murder toll to 89. A separate killing in Laventille early this morning has since taken that figure to 90. Several people have taken to social media to react to the murder of the infant and his dad, questioning the government's lack of response in the face of rising violence. Efforts to obtain comment from Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander were unsuccessful.
Mr. SOE, a young man and his son were murdered. Does this concern the government at all?
I love you all.
Minister, any plans to reconsider whether you will introduce a curfew?
Independent Senator Francis Lewis believes the SOE's effectiveness has waned and does not develop the tools to combat serious crimes, including murders.
While fellow Independent Senator Courtney McNish has described the incident as a sad state of affairs. Still to come in the news, government wants to give judges the option to mix jail time and probation for convicts.
President of the Tobago Business Chamber against any proposal to scrap airbridge subsidy.
Coming up in sport, counting down to Carifta, we introduce two more of our medal hopefuls.
Jason has watched every World Cup from here, but not today. Because he made all his purchases with Visa and won a trip to the FIFA World Cup 2026. Whoever uses Visa most wins. Pay with Visa.
Can you do this?
Mixed reviews over the NUGFW's latest agreement with the state for a 10% wage increase, with 60% to be paid in non-cash benefits. The deal benefits roughly 20,000 workers and will cost the state $2.6 billion in back pay, with an additional $252 million added annually to the wage bill. However, the Contractors and General Workers Union says it made a similar proposal for both cash and non-cash benefits 2 years ago, but was rejected by the Chief Personnel Officer, Dr. Daryl Dindial. Its President General, Amin Debik Mead, says the union had suggested a split arrangement if government could not meet its demands fully in cash. Debik Mead says the union's proposal was aimed at ensuring workers still received their increases despite limitations.
As President General of the Contractors and General Workers Trade Union, I would have indicated to the CPO, if it is you all are saying that the government cannot pay the amount that we were asking for in cash, then we would recommend that we get a percentage in cash and a percentage in financial instruments.
Debik Mead maintains there remains a disparity between daily paid workers at the San Fernando City Corporation and those represented by the NUGFW due to long-standing differences in job evaluations and wage adjustments. She says the union will continue to push for NUGFW rates to be used as a benchmark in upcoming negotiations before any percentage increases are applied. Meanwhile, the Transport and Industrial Workers Union says while it supports the agreement in principle, outcomes in negotiations depend heavily on the size and needs of each bargaining unit.
That is negotiation. When you meet, we might have a different perspective. We might have won bonds, right? And on top of that, PTSC is not all our membership. PTSC is only 900 plus, and MTS is only 1,800 plus. So we not lead past 10,000. So maybe that's what we negotiate on.
The Joint Trade Union Movement says its leadership is expected to meet to discuss the agreement. CNC3 News has reached out to the Chief Personnel Officer for comment. We await his response.
The Tobago division of the Chamber of Industry and Commerce is opposed to removing the subsidy currently in place for the Caribbean Airlines airbridge between Trinidad and Tobago. Chamber President Curtis Williams says the Chamber is aware of talks to make the airline more profitable by removing the subsidy. However, Williams says the airbridge is a critical lifeline for business as well as essential services. Williams says being a twin island requires frequent travel for families and should be regarded as a public transport service. He says removing the subsidy will be detrimental to the average citizen.
We the Tobago division, we take note of the discussion of the surrounding the possible removal of the subsidy, and we want to state our position clearly and let everybody understand that the Chamber does not support the removal of the airbridge subsidy at this time. So we want to make that abundantly clear.
On Tuesday, Caribbean Airlines denied reports that there are plans to close down the company. CAL said there has been no discussion about winding up the airline. Instead, it insists the board is actively reviewing operations and working on audited financial statements. Today, Williams said the cost of travel between the two islands could be as high as $1,000 if the subsidy is removed.
The information have been moving around in the space that the real cost of flight to Tobago should be $500 one way. So that means $1,000 return trip. That's the kind of cost I think someone mentioned to me a couple of weeks ago.
And Chief Secretary Farley Augustine has said that the economic benefits far outweigh balancing the finances, and CAL should be adopting the Copa Airlines model, which involves making our two major airports a hub between the Caribbean and the rest of the world.
Well, on the back of that story, today we asked, should government remove the subsidy on flights on the domestic airbridge?
This is what you had to tell us.
No, I don't think they should reduce it, or remove it, I should say, because it would cost an increase for all of us, the other citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and it will put, a strain on those who cannot already pay the price that they already have at the moment.
I don't think the government should remove the subsidy of your airbridge. It's Trinidad and Tobago. At the ending of the day, they should have a proper domestic footing for between the islands. What I think they should do is remove the subsidy for the foreigners.
No, I find they should just leave it how it is.
Yes, I think so, because Trinidad and Tobago is one, and the distance at the end of the day. Yes, we are one citizen. We ain't supposed to be paying a big expensive price to reach Tobago.
Leave it. Why? Well, it comes easier on the pocket.
My personal view is that if they remove it, they put pressure on people, because just imagine to reach Tobago with $600, that's unfair for citizens of the country. And they should do better than that.
In tonight's Business Watch, the stability and security available in the region may be to TNT's advantage amid reports that Shell is advancing negotiating deals with Venezuela for the operationalization of the Dragon gas field.
Former Energy Minister Kevin Ramnarine is weighing in on this development. Peter Christopher has more.
Former Energy Minister Kevin Ramnarine says Trinidad and Tobago's viability for energy-related investment has increased given the current conflict in the Middle East. On Wednesday, there were international reports that the energy giant Shell not only can make a final investment decision on the Dragon gas deal this year, but it was also in discussion to develop 3 more fields in Venezuelan waters. A Reuters report states that the London-based company has intentions of sending the Venezuelan gas to Trinidad for processing, which could be a boost for Atlantic LNG, which has been struggling due to insufficient gas supply for the past few years. When asked for a comment on this development, the former energy minister says, quote, "The events of the last month in the Middle East and the vulnerability of energy infrastructure there demonstrate that Trinidad and Tobago possesses the advantage of security and stability when it comes to energy infrastructure and maritime logistics. This further enhances the business case for natural gas processing in this country for the coming decades," end quote. On this development, the Energy Chamber says with substantial spare capacity currently available at Atlantic LNG, increased LNG production would boost national exports and generate much-needed foreign exchange. Furthermore, moving these projects into the implementation stage would create valuable opportunities for the local supply chain and provide work for local contractors. However, another former energy minister, Stuart Young, questions the absence of the government and the National Gas Company in these discussions, as he argues this could lead to less favorable terms for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Business Watch contacted Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Munilal for a comment, but he did not respond. Minister in the Ministry of Energy, Ernesto Quezar, met with officials from El Dorado Offshore and Rams Logistics in Paramaribo, Suriname, during Caribbean Energy Week 2026 earlier this week. The discussion was hosted by Rams Logistics CEO Sean Rampasad at the company's Suriname office and featured Saruna Samaru, Vice President of El Dorado Offshore, Mike Rezomadono, Rams Logistics Suriname Country Manager, and members of the company's Suriname team. According to a release from Rams on Tuesday, the meeting reflected continued support for the growth and development of Suriname's energy industry. Caribbean Energy Week, which began on Monday, finished today, April 1st. And now for a look at today's energy and foreign exchange prices. Peter Christopher, CNC3 Business Watch.
Let's tell you what's still to come in the news tonight. Vendors were evicted this morning from the Shaguanas Vendors Mall as the corporation makes way for upgrade works.
If you plan to head to the seas tomorrow, well, you'll need to exercise caution. Stick around right after the break and I'll give you the full weather report.
Life. What a wonderful journey we're on. Each stage is unique. And at Tata Life, we not only understand, but also appreciate that you'll have different needs at different times. So trust us to protect you and yours with our comprehensive range of financial planning solutions to ensure that you never, ever have to worry. To learn more, contact a Tata Life advisor or visit tatalife.co.tt today. For the many stages of your life, Tata Life, a member of the Ansa McCall Group.
This is your chance to save big this Easter because Bright Ideas Big Easter Sale is here. Bigger deals, brighter savings. That's the sound of prices getting slashed on all your home essentials store-wide. Unbeatable specials on glassware, cookware, utensils, and much more. Stock up now. Towels, 4 for just $100. Irons from just $85. Highest quality blackout curtains, 2 for just $99. That's a steal of a deal. Clean bed sheets, 2 for only $100. Huge savings on glassware, cookware, bakeware, and tableware. Post in style this Easter. Hurry in. These Easter deals won't last. Don't miss out. Head to the nearest Bright Ideas store today and save big because Bright Ideas annual Big Easter sale is here.
Get a loan at Bremont. The process is simple. Fast and efficient approvals. Receive funds within 24 hours once approved. And no penalty for early repayment. Located at 4 Gallas Street, Woodbrook. Remember, we like to lend.
Period nights don't have to look like this. Move less, wake up to change. So change for a real night's sleep with Always Overnight. Its 3 times protection system absorbs, locks the fluid, and keeps it away from your skin. For protected nights without leaks. Always.
Jason has watched every World Cup from here, but not today. Because he made all his purchases with Visa and won a trip to the FIFA World Cup 2026. Whoever uses Visa most wins. Pay with Visa.
Vendors operating out of the Shaguanas Vendors Mall along the main road were evicted this morning as the corporation makes way to upgrade the area. The vendors admit that they were informed of the plans and given notice to relocate. However, they say despite registering for spaces upstairs the Shaguanas Market, they were not given any official indication of which stalls they were allocated, nor a date when they could start occupying those stalls. One vendor, Vance Franklin, says since they were informed of the relocation plans, there has been a lot of red tape preventing them from accessing those stalls.
Well, we have no place has been assigned to us. No place has been assigned to us. All right, our last meeting, all who registered, nobody has gotten any phone call or messages by phone, text message or email or nothing to know where they're going to locate their business at.
However, when confronted by the vendors on the lack of access, Alderman and Chairman of the Shaguanas Borough Corporation Market Committee, Whitney Stevenson Hamlet, said the 30-plus vendors have contracts waiting for them to occupy the booths.
I will not speak if you all are going to. Listen, I would have had several meetings with you all since last year, right? Since last year, March, till now, right? Even this year, I would have held a meeting with you guys informing you all of what is the plans and the upcoming for here, right? With due respect, you all who would have taken up the offer of going upstairs to Shaguanas Market and that we would have offered you all 6 months free rent, you all are entitled to go in a half an hour time, sign your contracts, and you all will be issued the keys for your booth.
Stevenson Hamlet says the area will be developed as a maxi and taxi hub.
We are still in the dry season, but K-Marie, today felt like such a nice day to stay home and cuddle up because it felt quite cool actually.
Yes, actually, temperatures dropped as compared to yesterday and earlier in the week today, so I felt pretty chilly as well, and we did see some afternoon showers. Let's get right into it. Yesterday we mentioned overcast conditions and gave a forecast of the chance of some isolated showers, and that's exactly what we saw today. During the mid-afternoon period, there were some brief isolated showers, but for the most part it was generally sunny and breezy. Today's maximum temperature was only 30.7 degrees Celsius in Trinidad and even cooler in Tobago, peaking at 29.6 degrees Celsius. When we look across the region, we saw that there was a surface to low-level ridge which was dominant across the island chain, including Trinidad and Tobago. Looking at the weather forecast for tonight, well, the Met Office says it will be mostly fair and cool except for the odd shower. Temperatures are expected to get down to 22 degrees Celsius at Piaco and 24 degrees Celsius at Crown Point. But what will tomorrow look like? Well, it is actually forecast to be generally sunny and breezy at times with a brief isolated shower that's possible. If we take a look at the seas, though, I want you to pay attention to this because the seas are moderate. However, the Met Office has issued caution for all marine interests. Seas will remain moderate with waves between 1.5 to 2.5 meters in open waters, but up to 1 meter in sheltered areas. So if you plan to head to the seas tomorrow, please remember to go with caution. Looking further ahead now into tomorrow, Friday and Saturday, we're seeing those generally sunny and breezy conditions will continue, but there's is also expected to have some isolated showers interrupting those clear skies. But by Saturday, we see some heavier showers as well. So guys, if you plan to be outdoors for that long weekend coming ahead, I'll say to maybe walk with that umbrella as well.
I know there'll be many Good Friday processions.
Yes, taking place.
Yeah, so that umbrella will come in handy.
Yes,
Thank you so much, K. Marie. Well, still to come in the news, that drink may be riskier than you think. Tonight's wellness segment explores the link between alcohol and cancer.
This Easter, celebrate more, spend less. Only at Passat's The Food King. Easter celebration of value is here. Stock up and save big on your everyday favorites. Swiss Chinatown noodles, 454 grams, 2 packs for $19. Blue Sea tuna chunks in oil or water, 3 tins, only $25. Coca-Cola 2 liter, 2 bottles for $20. Fresh harvest season carrots, 4 tins for $20. Creamery ice cream, 2 gallons for $99. Dutch potatoes, 5 pounds, just $10. Lotus soybean oil, 3 liters for $49.99. Sierra chicken franks, 3 packs for $20. Muttick's peanut butter, 250 grams, 2 for $19.99. Perdix chicken nuggets, 300 grams, $19.99. Country Pride all-purpose flour, 10 kilograms, $59.99. Plus more incredible deals in store this Easter at Passat's The Food King. Offers end April 8th or while stocks last.
Quality value, that's our way. A real Passat's, we're here to stay. The Food King Passat's.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488 or visit our website to order. We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance, but we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza in Deba Shaguanas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon.
After almost a decade in prison, 5 men accused of murdering a Laventille couple in 2016 are now free.
Olatunji Denbo, Michael Finley, Kyle Belgrave, Sion Barneswell, and Kellon Maxine were discharged this morning after prosecutors offered no evidence as their trial was about to begin. The men were greeted by relieved relatives upon release. They had been charged with killing Andre Latouche and Abiola Noel in February 2016. Prosecutors had relied on a witness who claimed she saw the men threaten the couple before the shooting. But defense attorneys produced a statutory declaration in which the woman admitted she fabricated the story to protect her boyfriend from a firearm charge. Prosecutors challenged the declaration but conceded it would be unfair to use her statement without her present for questioning.
In a move that'll modernize the justice system, the nation's courts will soon be empowered to impose jail time followed by mandatory probation. Today, the Senate commenced debate on the Probation of Offenders Amendment Bill. The bill seeks to allow the court to sentence an offender to a term of imprisonment followed by a mandatory probation. This is a departure from the traditional either-or approach, where probation was typically used instead of jail time. In piloting the bill today, Justice Minister Devish Maharaj said the split sentencing option is landmark reform, but he warned that if offenders violate their probation, they will not be spared.
We are saying we are giving you a chance, a second chance, come back out into society, do your rehabilitation, and you get a pass to come back out. If not, the court will once more intervene, and then you would have to serve that term inside.
In response, opposition Senator Faris Arawi said while he supports the hybrid approach and split sentencing, he's pleading with the government to consider an amendment which he said will take into consideration the rights of the victims.
People who are probationers on the outside, pursuant to a court order, they ought to, the minute they are charged for another offense, they have to be brought back before the court. That would give the population some comfort that the rights of the victims are being managed. It would keep you on a, Mr. President, how are you going to wait on a conviction?
Independent Senator Anthony Vieira voiced his support for the bill, saying it recognizes the principle that punishment alone does not produce justice.
Residents are calling for increased police patrols in Cypress Hills and Union Hall, San Fernando, as they report a rise in break-ins in the area.
Police have since recovered a stolen television belonging to a police officer after it was found in an abandoned apartment in the community. Officers of the San Fernando CID made the discovery after acting on information and searching a unit in Building 32. The 42-year-old constable had reported his home burglarized on March 25th with several items, including the television, other electronics, and police-issued equipment stolen. Police say fingerprints were recovered and an arrest is expected. Well, 2 hikers lost in the Northern Range overnight have been rescued by the air support unit. They became disoriented while attempting to visit the aeroplane crash site just off Bamboo Cathedral in Macareep. Air support employed a drone, which helped the search team identify the hikers' exact location, and they were extracted early that morning. Both were taken for medical checks but had no serious injuries. Authorities are reminding hikers to exercise caution before entering remote terrain. All right, well, while we have always been advised to drink responsibly, and most do, not all of the health risks of alcohol are common knowledge.
In tonight's Wellness Wednesday, we explore the cancer risk in alcohol.
Wellness Wednesday, brought to you by BioStrand. Get what you need naturally.
Maybe it's time to ease up on the rum, because in 2022, the World Health Organization declared that no amount of alcohol consumption is safe, which is a difficult thing to conceive of as a West Indian because drinking is embedded in our culture. And maybe we need to reconsider that because
there is no safe amount of alcohol. And what that is saying is that and it's based on the understanding that alcohol is a class 1 carcinogen.
The International Agency for Research discovered the link in 1988, but that information has never been mainstreamed. So most people aren't aware that even a small amount increases your cancer risk. And if you smoke, it multiplies the risk from cigarettes.
What it does is a lot of the carcinogens in tobacco is absorbed better by alcohol if you use them concurrently.
Dr. Maharaj says it is very important that Trinbagonians understand these risks because we don't just drink, we do so excessively.
That 1/3 of households has someone in it who's using alcohol usually between 5 to 6 drinks in one sitting. And that sitting is usually less than 2 hours.
In 2020, the Pan American Health Organization found that Trinbagonian men were the riskiest drinkers in the Americas. And while in the strictest sense, no amount of alcohol is safe, if you must, aim for a minimal or a moderate amount. Or perhaps just don't drink at all. Soini Gray, CNC3 News.
Wellness Wednesday, brought to you by BioStrand. Get what you need naturally.
All right, Jassy is waiting in the wings with sport. And Jassy, news from all sectors, Netball's awards ceremony tonight.
Yeah, the familiar name topped them all. Khalifa McCollin is back-to-back MVP. We'll tell you who else were the big winners. And we flesh out the full World Cup picture with which teams are going and which ones are watching from home. Stick around, sport is next.
And the shot is in the side netting.
With Alive Multivitamins by Nature's Way, you won't be defined by time. You'll own every minute of it. Discover how you can age vibrantly with Alive.
Jason has watched every World Cup from here, but not today. Because he made all his purchases with Visa and won a trip to the FIFA World Cup 2026. Whoever uses Visa most wins. Pay with Visa.
Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2 Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
Get a free pair of polarized sunglasses with the purchase of new Gen S Transitions lenses with anti-reflective coating and frames. Selected designer frames now just $4.99 with additional promotions. Hurry, limited time only at Seaview Optical.
Hey, the Easter long weekend coming up. You know what that means. Hot cross buns. And you finally get in time to fix up your house. So if your door's creaking and your window's sticking, come on down to ABC Doors and Windows for our extra deal sale. From March 23rd to April 4th, pick an egg from our Easter basket and crack a deal. You could get up to 20% off your purchase. So if you're looking for wooden doors, steel security doors, windows, flooring, locks, and more, no need to go hunting for deals. Come crack one open at ABC Doors and Windows, #1 Tanker Trace on Socorro South.
Looking for the ultimate gaming experience? Welcome to Phase 22 Gaming Lounge, where gamers of all ages come to play, compete, and have fun. Dive into your favorite games on PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, or race on our high-tech racing rigs. And experience the thrill of VR with PlayStation and Meta Quest. Our lounge is safe, comfortable, and perfect for everyone. When you're done, check out the latest gaming systems, accessories, and even Samsung and Apple phones. Visit us on the second floor of Gulf City Mall or call 786-2404 to book your gaming session today.
Welcome back. It's time for sport now, and as is customary, cycling will hold the spotlight as the Easter International Grand Prix pedals off on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Already a Class 2 event which carries international ranking points, the Grand Prix takes on added significance this time as it is the first leg of the inaugural Caribbean Track Cycling Championships and the America's Track Cup Series. This alone will add to the competitiveness being brought by the 9 international contingents.
For us, being able to come to Trinidad every year is a plus as we try to develop our youngsters, and we see Easter Grand Prix as a gateway. I mean, now it's linked with the Copa Cup, which again, as we look forward to the 2028 in LA, it gives a good opportunity for our riders to be a part of this event.
Well, Team Trinidad and Tobago will consist of 8 riders with varying levels of international experience. Among them are young veteran Phoebe Sandy and debutant Kyra Williams.
I'm really happy to be on the national team for the first time in Trinidad and Tobago representing. So it's really, truly a blessing to be here.
This is an event to showcase the Caribbean talent that we do have and the talent of Trinidad and Tobago. So it's a very exciting and a great opportunity for Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, last evening, N3's president, Ephraim Surrett, made a bold prediction that this year's Team TTO can surpass the 2025 Carifta team's medals haul. Tonight, as the countdown to Grenada 2026 continues, we hear from 2 of those medal hopefuls, sprinters Jaquan Douglas and Eden Chiwa.
At Carifta 2025, sprinter Eden Chiwa put down a marker in her first games. Chiwa, then just 13 years old, missed out on a medal in her debut year. Now she's keen to ace the latest test of her young career.
For the prelims, I was a little nervous, but going into the finals, I was a bit more calm because I knew deep down I could do it, but I guess in the finals, I didn't really run my race properly, and I kind of regret that, but I learned my lesson, and this year I hope to come out stronger than ever.
Since then, the Memphis Pioneers athlete has kept working toward the podium. In this year's Carifta trials, she brought the stadium to its feet, blazing to the line in the girls' under-17 200 meters final. This time around, she's representing TNT in the 200 meters, 4x1 and 4x400 meters events. And Chiwa has already set her 2026 goals, aided by her support system.
To PB and to place first, get a gold medal in all my events, and run my best for the relays especially. My coaches and my parents have a big part of it because they continue to push me every day, especially in training. My coaches, they don't give up on me, and they make me push my hardest to achieve my goals.
Still building her sprint CV, she's chuffed with her progress, but cognizant of the importance of staying grounded.
I try not to put too much pressure on myself considering I'm so young, and I just kind of cancel out all the noise and kind of get in a zone where it's just me running and try to focus on my race by myself.
At 13, Signal Hill secondary student Jaquan Douglas is also at his second games. Picked in 2025 as a member of this country's under-17 4x100 meter team, alongside Cordell Lewis, Jaden Goodridge and Alex Sipasad, Douglas marked his debut with a bronze medal in TNT colours.
My first experience at Carifta was very nice. I got a medal, and that inspired me to work harder to get to run an individual event, because last year I came third in the trial, so I had also run relay. So yeah, that really inspired me to work hard to get to run an individual event.
Since then, he's racked up a series of wins and strong showings throughout the season, and the Roxborough resident remains grateful for the village that continues to spur him to greatness.
Plenty support. My community has always been supporting me in everything I do. So anytime I call on them, they will support and fund and stuff.
Competing this time around in the boys under-17 100 meters and 4x100 meters events, he's not satisfied with just booking his spot on the plane.
My goals is to go out there, get a medal, if possible, break the Carifta 100-meter record, and make my country proud.
Jovan Ravello, CNC3 Sport.
Yeah, he just reminded me it takes a village to make a medalist. On to netball now. National player Carifta McCollin secured her third successive Player of the Season title when the court's All Sectors Netball League concluded on Saturday. She led out the UTT team to the lion's share of awards. Caston Cupid has the details.
It was a successful campaign for the University of Trinidad and Tobago netball program as they dominated the 2025-2026 Courts All Sectors Netball League. The Patriots walked away with 2 of the 3 opening day knockout titles, winning the Premiership and Championship divisions, and for good measure, won the March Pass as well. In league play, they took 2 of the 4 on offer, reigning supreme in the Prem and Alternative divisions. The Steve Sargent Challenge was next as the Alternative division side won that division's knockout and the Courts Open knockout. They swept the floor, winning the Premiership, Championship and Alternative divisions Fast 5 competitions. Police won the inaugural Men's Division League title over Defence Force, only for the Soldiers to win the Fast 5 with Bermudez placing second. In the individual awards, Carifta McCollin produced the best shooting average with 83.9%, Pippin Defence Force, Jaleesa Cooper, who shot 83.6%. Shania Morgan was third with 76.4. With an impressive 89.3 average, UWI's Makia Bramble won the championship shooting title, while Alexi Yearwood, also of UWI, won the alternative division equivalent. Then it was time for the announcement of the league's MVP.
Carifta McCollin!
No surprises there as McCollin won her third successive MVP as the 36th edition of the league came to an end. Caston Cupid, CNC3 Sport.
Congratulations to all of the winners. And speaking of winners, St. Joseph's Convent, Port of Spain won the Under-15 girls title in the Secondary Schools Basketball League last week. Again, here's Caston Cupid calling the highlights from the round-robin tournament.
The girls from St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain were all smiles when they lifted the coveted Girls Under-15 title. Hailing from Pembroke Street, Port of Spain, they topped the 3-team round-robin, which also involved the Five Rivers Secondary School and Palo Seco. Convent took care of Five Rivers Secondary 41-17, thanks to a 23-point performance from Lee Mob here. She went on to score 17 points in their 33-9 win over Palo Seco, en route to be named MVP of the division. Five Rivers took the second spot after they defeated Palo Seco 26-16. The Southerners had to settle for the bronze. In the other divisions, Five Rivers girls flipped the script on St. Joseph Camden Port of Spain, winning the girls' Open Division title, with Faizabat Anglican finishing third. Fatima College showed their dominance, winning 3 of the 4 boys' divisions. In the under 13, they beat Hillview College into second. St. Mary's College won the under 15s with Arima North and Signal Hill Secondary from Tobago in the runners-up spots. Fatima was back to winning ways in the under 17 category, with Trinity East second and Shaguanas North in third. The Muckarapa Road boys were again at the top in the under 20s division, with Hillview second and Signal Hill finishing third. Caston Cupid, CNC3 Sport.
Well, all 48 teams for the FIFA 2026 World Cup are now confirmed following last night's final set of playoff matchups. And mind you, there are some notable omissions. Once more, here's Caston.
The 48-team lineup for the biggest ever FIFA World Cup is now complete after a grueling qualifying campaign that spanned more than 2.5 years. Jamaica's Reggae Boys have to wait one more cycle to add to their solitary 1998 World Cup appearance, as an extra-time heartbreaker in the Intercontinental Playoff in Guadalajara, Mexico, sends the Democratic Republic of Congo through to the World Cup finals instead. Congo defender Axel Twanzebe is his nation's hero as they take up their place in Group K with Portugal, Uzbekistan and Colombia. The final spot was secured by Iraq, who edged Bolivia 2-1 in the Intercontinental Playoff in Monterrey, Mexico, returning to the biggest stage for the first time in 40 years. They will play in Group I alongside France, Senegal and Norway. But the biggest shock came in Europe when Bosnia and Herzegovina stunned the 4-time champions Italy on penalties, condemning the Azzurri to missing their 3rd consecutive World Cup. Bosnia and Herzegovina will play in Group B with Qatar, co-host Canada and Switzerland. Czechia also defeated Denmark on penalties to earn the right to play in Group A with the other co-hosts Mexico, South Africa and Korea Republic. Turkey joins USA, Paraguay and Australia after they beat Kosovo for the spot. Group F welcomes Sweden to play alongside Netherlands, Japan and Tunisia. They came at the expense of Poland. Caston Cupid, CNC3 Sport.
Yeah, the World Cup certainly shaping up very nicely indeed, and guess what? It's just in our backyard. Well, to end things, we head to our sport high tonight. It's from the NBA. Enjoy.
The Portland Trail Blazers' Robert Williams III probably works for NASA because he sent Chris Dunn's shot into space. It went into orbit. He sent it to the edge of the Earth. Yes, that's how it's done. So Robert Williams III for that intergalactic block, you earn tonight's CNC3 Sport High.
Caston has been keeping abreast of Artemis 2's takeoff.
Yes, I think so. Of course, we have that excitement from the newsroom earlier today. And do we have some news on it later?
Hope so. All right. Thank you so much, Jassy. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Is mealtime more of a chore than a cherished time? Does a lack of appetite keep your family, young and old, from getting the nourishment they need? Introducing Apetamin, the gentle, effective appetite stimulant designed for every age. Apetamin helps spark the natural desire to eat, turning hesitant nibbles into satisfying meals. Watch as food becomes exciting again, fueling growth, energy, and shared moments around the table. Give your body the gift of a joyful appetite. Find Apetamin in pharmacies nationwide.
Dress like you mean business. At The Working Woman, we bring you stylish, professional looks made for the modern woman. From casual to formal workwear, we've got your professional wardrobe covered. Recession have you down? Don't lose hope. Head on down to Tire Clinic for the recession deals. Big savings with our road hazard warranty on Dunlop 2021 Falcon tires. Available at Tire Clinic, Cuba, Shaguanas, and Pleasance Park. Tire Clinic, a tire for every need. Call 636-8973 or 636-2958.
Struggling with blood sugar swings, high blood pressure, or stiff joints? Take control with Aja Nutrition's powerful wellness trio. Berberine Plus supports healthy blood sugar. Blood pressure support helps keep your pressure in check. And Joint Aid keeps your joints moving so you can stay active every day. Don't wait. Choose Aja Nutrition for trusted, effective solutions. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Feel better, move better, Live better with Aja Nutrition.
For the first time in more than 50 years, NASA is sending astronauts to the moon.
The mission takes humans farther into space than ever before.
Here's more.
4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Early Wednesday evening, 4 astronauts lifted off from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida to attempt a journey around the moon. The Artemis 2 mission will mark the first time astronauts return to the vicinity of the moon in more than 50 years. The last crewed moon mission was in 1972. This mission could also travel further from Earth than any human ever has, which would break the Apollo program's distance record. 3 American astronauts and 1 Canadian are making this journey, scheduled for approximately 10 days. Artemis 2 is effectively a test flight that could establish the groundwork for future missions to bring astronauts to the moon in a couple years' time.
Ryan, my pen is from the Kennedy Space Center.
Kennedy
Quite
Space
fantastic.
Center.
It's amazing. It's history.
Well,
I'm glad to see it.
I'm sure this means a lot to you.
It does. All right, well, let's take another break. We'll be right back.
Plumbing problems? Don't guess. Call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646. Proud to be serving Trinidad and Tobago for over 20 years. We do it all. Maintenance and repairs, new construction, sewer lines, inspection, drain cleaning, leak detection. We are licensed and insured, so call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646.
Don't miss the gripping drama Cabo. Sundays at 8 p.m. only on CNC3.
The family and friends of Joshua Samaru and Kaya Seeley continue their call for answers on what caused police to open fire on the couple, killing Joshua and seriously injuring Kaya. The incident unfolded in January. Since then, the family has staged 9 silent protests, 8 of them outside the police stations. This evening, they gathered in front of Four Roads Police Station. Shane Superville was there for this report.
Over 2 months have passed since a police-involved shooting claimed the life of Joshua Samaru and wounded his wife Kaya Seeley. In the meantime, voices calling for justice and greater transparency have not dissipated. In fact, several activists continue to call for greater transparency and greater clarity as to what took place on that day in January 20th.
You can't tell a hungry man that you almost finished cooking. He's still hungry. You understand? So we want to see what's going on. We want to know what's going on. We don't want all your hold on just now because it's been 2 months and that's honestly an overdue.
Shane Superville, CNC3 News.
Well, Shane was speaking to Alyssa Phillip, friend of Kaya Seeley and the protest organizer.
Well, PNM Deputy Political Leader Sanjeev Budu has raised concerns over the government's silence on allegations that Sangre Grande businessman Danny Guerra financed the UNC's 2025 campaign in the constituency.
He also criticized Defense Minister Wayne Sturgis' lack of response on the matter, describing his silence as troubling. Addressing questions about the PNM's record in office, Budu says the party had pursued Explain Your Wealth legislation as a means of tracking illicit funds, but argues campaign finance reform has become urgent in light of the allegation.
You all put the man in jail, saying that he is the leader of an organized crime group. You all put him in jail, saying that he was involved in an assassination attempt or a plot to assassinate a sitting government minister. You all did that. He is now deceased by an assassin's bullet in broad daylight in Toko Sangre Grande. That is the basis upon which we are calling for campaign finance reform.
Boodoo also criticized language the Prime Minister recently used in Parliament, referring to a term historically regarded as offensive to the East Indian community. While the term was not used in a self-deprecating context, he describes its use as inappropriate within the Parliament.
It's no part of this government is getting it right. I mean, for the love of God, at least get your language right. So it's not only offensive to people of that community, and I wouldn't get into that. It's not clearly an offensive word. It's not a word that anybody in civil society would be using, bandied about just like that. But certainly as the Prime Minister, have a little more decency and decorum for the people of this country looking on at the Parliament.
While the Speaker ruled that the Prime Minister's remarks did not breach standing orders, as they were not directed to any individual, Boodoo has called for impartial rulings by presiding officers in both houses of Parliament. For many Christians, Good Friday is a day of prayer and reflection. But in one small parish in central Trinidad, the story of Christ's final journey is not only remembered, it is relived.
For decades, the Grand Couva Tabakit RC parish has taken to the streets at dawn in a powerful reenactment of the Passion, drawing hundreds of onlookers each year to follow the journey to Calvary. And this Friday is no different.
Angelo Jedediah tells us more.
Good Friday is one of the most sacred days in the Christian calendar, marking the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Across TNT, that story is not only remembered, but brought to life. But deep in parts of central Trinidad, for the Grand Couva Tabakit Roman Catholic parish, this tradition is not only significant, but deeply personal to their small community, and for some, more personal than others.
This Good Friday, one young man takes on the role of Jesus, but he doesn't just carry the cross, he carries with him the fate of an entire community.
For 19-year-old Nathan Xavier Luke, playing the role of Jesus Christ has been a dream since he was a child.
And seeing the character of Jesus, of what he endured for us and suffered, it just brings us a sense of peace and to know who God is. And this year, I am thankful to really get the opportunity to portray that role to bring others closer to Jesus.
And as you can imagine, this is not a role you can simply step into just by memorizing a few lines and stage directions. Instead, it comes with moments of reflection in preparation.
It involves a lot of fasting and praying as well to cleanse yourself, cleanse your body, cleanse your mind, to walk in the footsteps of Jesus.
And even with his strong faith and passion for acting, Nathan says he still leans on those who played the role before him, particularly when it comes to the physical challenge of carrying the cross.
The walking is fine. I walk barefoot on the road. There's no issues, no cuts, no bruises. I'm perfectly okay. And you'll have like the whole emotions and everything. You don't feel it. You don't really think about it. It's just getting the play done and trying your best to give your best representation of what Jesus suffered.
Every detail, from the costumes to the wounds, is carefully prepared to make the reenactment not only dramatic, but deeply moving.
I am responsible for putting on the wounds on Jesus' body, right? We use liquid latex to create the wounds beforehand, and then on the day we apply them in the morning. I usually pray about it before I decide to do this, because to me it's very emotional.
And while women and children have long been part of the production, the parish says one of its biggest achievements has been getting more men involved, helping to bring the final hours of Jesus' life to the streets of the community come Friday at dawn.
Personally, it just helped me in a way that when I look at it, when I look at the whipping moments and stuff, wow, Jesus really went through all this stuff, and like it does touch after, and it was like, nah, I really don't want to continue doing this stuff. I continue doing these sins now.
And as the reenactment passes through Flanagan Town on Friday morning and climbs uphill at Lassa Tower, retracing the final steps of Jesus Christ, one truth shines through. The message of faith and sacrifice lives deeply in this community. Angelo Jedediah, CNC3 News.
Yeah. It's a beautiful reenactment, and I'll be there on Good Friday going up that hill.
Some of those were actually your images in that.
Yes, they were. My aim is to make make a front page, and I'll have photo of the week.
Looking forward to seeing it.
All right, well, as we leave you, let's remind you to stay connected with us on our social media platforms.
There you'll find tonight's stories, the latest updates, and exclusive content. And don't forget to pick up a copy of the TNT Guardian newspaper.
We've come to the end of the 7 p.m. news on CNC3. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Maria Rambly.
I'm Brian Bechu.
I am Jassy Marie.
And I'm Kay Marie Fletcher. Have a good night.
You're watching CNC3.
CNC3 wishes to advise that this program is for mature audiences only.
Police are searching for a 2-year-old girl after she went missing from her home in the Clay Pit Road area last night. Her father woke up this morning to find the toddler gone, amid signs of a break-in.